What's going on, guys? This is Ryan with Dark Outpost, and what an incredible time to be a DC fan. We just got more news that some of us never thought we would get. And yes, Ben Affleck is returning as Batman. Batfleck is back, baby. This morning, we get a little bit of a tease for the first official trailer for the release of Justice League, the Snyder Cut, coming to DC Fandom. Then, Matt Reeves shows us the official logo and the official bat symbol for his The Batman. And then later, we get this news right here. Ben Affleck will return as Batman for Anthony Muschietti's The Flash. I didn't know if this was real. I thought this was the parody discussing film. I couldn't believe that this was real, but it is. It is a real Vanity Fair article. They have it from Muschietti himself that Ben Affleck will be returning to play the Caped Crusader, and I did not think that he would be returning in The Flash. We've heard rumors for a while now that there was potential for Ben to come back and reprise his role as Batman in something specifically for HBO Max. Most people were thinking the Batman vs. Deathstroke, what was originally supposed to be The Batman. But this is a new rumor altogether. So we're going to talk about all of that and what it means. But let's take a look at this article and hear it from the director himself. Ben Affleck will return as the Batman in The Flash. His Caped Crusader will appear alongside with Michael Keaton's in the upcoming movie, which explores a multiverse of DC Comics heroes. And that is the important thing. I still see some people in the comments that, or in the replies to tweets that are like, I don't understand this. Well, you might not understand the DC multiverse then, but I can tell you, DC is committed to showing everybody exactly what the multiverse means, exactly what it is, and how their stories can thrive within it when it comes to the cinema or the streaming services. Batman Forever strives for a chance to set things right. That may finally happen with Ben Affleck's version of the crime fighter. The Argo director's brooding Dark Knight is coming back for one more movie, with Affleck agreeing to return as Bruce Wayne in the upcoming big screen version of The Flash, Vanity Fair has learned. Now, The Flash has been in a constant course of chaos, it seems like. This movie never really got right. But now it seems, especially within the last 6 months or so, there has been some movement forward. Now, Ezra Miller may have thrown a wrench in the works when he had that incident. We covered it here on the channel when he did, put his hands around the throat of that fan who came up to him. But it looks like Warner Brothers is sticking with Ezra Miller, and Ezra Miller will be the Flash for the foreseeable future. Now, I did not like Ezra Miller in Joss Whedon's Justice League, but I'm willing to give him the benefit of the doubt and wait to reserve judgment until I see him in Zack Snyder's Justice League, because we know almost all of his lines were completely different. He's like a completely different character. So I'm not a big fan of Ezra Miller's acting in general, but I am definitely willing to see what he can do with Zack Snyder directing him. The Argo director's brooding Dark Knight is coming back for one more movie. Well, at least one. We know of one. We'll see if any others. With Affleck returning to return as Bruce Wayne in the upcoming big screen version of The Flash. They talk about how there's always vigorous debates about who plays the Batman, and I agree. There always are. Now, this is what I thought was very interesting in this. Anthony Muschietti talks about Batfleck, about Bruce Wayne, or about Ben Affleck's Batman. His Batman has a dichotomy that he is very strong, which is his masculinity, nice, because of the way he looks and the imposing figure that he has and his jawline, but he's also very vulnerable, Muschietti said in an interview. He knows how to deliver from the inside out that vulnerability. He just needs a story that allows him to bring that contrast, that balance. And then here, and I have to give a shout out to My Nerdy Home, because she talked about this too, about how Ben Affleck, or about how Bruce Wayne could really relate to Barry because of their parents, what happened to their parents. He's a very substantial part of the emotional impact of that movie. The interaction and relationship between Barry and Affleck's Wayne will bring an emotional level we haven't seen before, the director added. It's Barry's movie, it's Barry's story, but their characters are more related than we think. They both lost their mothers to murder, and that's one of the more emotional vessels in that movie. Now, this is a very important line that I do just want to make sure gets seen. Affleck got the script at the end of last week. If you recall, there was an image floating around there of Ben Affleck with a script in his hands as he was getting into a car or something. People were wondering what that was. There's a really good chance it was the Flash script. and he agreed this week to join the project. Makes me much more interested to see that Flash panel at DC Fandom on Saturday. Very interesting indeed. Affleck won't be the only person won't be the only Batman making a comeback. Then they talk about how Michael Keaton will also be playing a substantial part in this movie. Now, what we assume is going to happen, that Barry is going to open up the multiverse, essentially. So they need that starting point. It makes more sense. Muschietti goes into this, say that he is the baseline, that Ben Affleck will be the baseline Batman before he goes in the multiverse and explores other things. So then when he runs into Michael Keaton's Batman, he has a clear understanding of what his Batman is and how the differences are there. And I think one thing is very interesting about this as well. Barbara Muschietti, the producer and sister of the director, told Vanity Fair she had worried this might make him reluctant to return, talking about all of the shit that he went through on Joss Whedon's reshoots. How he said that basically if he had to go through that again, he'd kill himself. That's essentially what Ben said. And one of the reasons that I was never sure that this was going to happen, because I just didn't know if Ben would want to return knowing what he had gone through. But if things change at Warner Brothers, if things change at AT&T like they have, maybe this was enough to get him back. Listen to what she says. There have been all sorts of stories and the things he said himself about having a very hard time playing Batman, and it had been difficult for him. I think it was more about a difficult time in his life, the alcoholism obviously. When we approached him, he's now in a very different time in his life. He was very open to it, which was a bit of a surprise to us. It was a question mark. We're all human and go through great times and terrible times in our lives. Right now, he's in a place where he can actually enjoy being Batman. Plus, he doesn't have to carry the entire movie. It's a pivotal role, but at the same time, it's a fun part, she says. This is crazy. This is awesome. I didn't think that we would be getting Ben Affleck in the Flash movie. That makes me a whole lot more invested in the Flash movie. The idea that Affleck will be in it is also clear. That Zack Snyder's, the Snyderverse, what people are referring to, it very much is a part of DC continuity going forward, especially when they're attacking from the multiverse angle. This opens up so many things because you can have a Robert Pattinson Batman. You can have a Ben Affleck Batman. You can still bring back old characters who played them, like Michael Keaton, as his 1989 Batman is still going to be in continuity in the multiverse. It's kind of mind-blowing what DC is trying to do, and you see a lot of people reacting to this, saying what they want, so hyped that Ben Affleck is going to be a part of this. Look at this. Ben Affleck with a Flash shirt. He's teasing us for months now. Well, they did just say from Muschietti himself that he got the script last week, so I don't know how long he's known about this or anything like that. But Humberto Gonzalez, who someone that said the Snyder Cut would never happen, then had to eat crow when the Snyder Cut happened, also said that Ben Affleck would never return as Batman. Well, now he's back doing a little more damage control, having to say that, he is, but he points out the same thing that I pointed out, that he did get the script at the end of last week and agreed this week to join the project. There has been some rumors out there, like I addressed earlier, about Affleck already being signed, done deal. He's coming back for these movies, and I don't think that that's what this rumor is. I think what this announcement is. I think that's a different rumor that's yet to be confirmed. I guess we'll hear more as time comes out. But I think a lot of people were expecting that more to be the Ben Affleck versus Deathstroke, whether it was going to be a movie, whether it was going to be an HBO Max movie, whether it's going to be an HBO Max limited television series, several parts. That's more along the lines of what those rumors were, as opposed to him making an appearance in The Flash. But I'm sure everyone is going to be using this announcement whatever way they can. I, for one, am just excited that it's happening. I'm excited that Ben Affleck, that this dude right here, probably my favorite on-screen iteration of Batman, is returning. Not only will we see him in Zack Snyder's Justice League, but we're going to see him in The Flash movie. And I did just want to briefly mention, too, because of all the crazy things going on, this guy still exists. Robert Pattinson's The Batman is still coming out. Still looks to be very interesting. Even though it's not set in the Snyderverse, it's still in the multiverse of DC. And the things they're talking about doing in this movie, I think, are really awesome. And we did get a look at this logo, which, I'll be real, I think that looks really sick. I think the Batman logo is unique. and it's going to be very distinctive, especially from the other Batmen that exist in the DC multiverse. But I dig the logo. I dig what I've seen from Matt Reeves. I want to see more of Robert Pattinson actually as the Batman and as Bruce Wayne, but I'm hesitantly excited for this movie as well. Incredible time to be a DC fan. In the lead up to DC Fandom, there's going to be something. If they continue to embrace this multiverse that encompasses the CW stuff that happens, that encompasses movies that happen in the 1980s, that encompasses everything, that means that whatever you like, whether you're a Zack Snyder fan or you hate his universe, whether you like Robert Pattinson as the Batman or not, there's going to be something for everyone to enjoy going forward with DC content. And I think that that is something awesome. I don't know if it's going to work for them. I don't know if casting this huge wide net is going to work for DC, but I'm glad they're taking the risk because it's that much more content for us to be able to enjoy. Hopefully it works out. Hopefully we get good products, and hopefully the fans will embrace it too. But let me know what you think about this. Batfleck is back, baby. Leave a comment below, smash a like button, subscribe to the channel, ring the bell for notifications, share this video out there, and I'll talk to you later. Thanks for watching, everyone, and a huge shout out to my patrons. I appreciate you guys so much. Want to follow me on Twitter or Instagram? Check out the description below. You'll find links to my P.O. box and my Patreon as well. And I'll talk to you guys later.